If you're cruising on P&O Arvia soon, this video is for you. We recently sailed on Arvia to the Norwegian Fjords, and after a week on board, I put together all the tips, tricks and little things we learned along the way. From finding your way around the ship and making the most of the food and entertainment, and useful things we wish we'd known sooner, these are the tips that have made our time on board much easier. I'm Lolly, and as a mum of two, I always like to know what to expect before I travel, so hopefully this video helps you get the most out of your Arvia cruise. And make sure you stay until the end, because I'll be sharing some of our favourite discoveries on board, including a few things that are easy to miss if you don't know they're there. Let's start with finding your way around the ship, because Arvia is huge. Inside the stairwells you'll notice coloured discs on the walls. These are actually there to help you work out where you are on the ship. Green means you're forward to represent the sea towards the front of the ship. Silver means you're midship and represents the moon, and red means you're aft towards the back to represent the sunset. The lift colours follow the same theme. Blue lifts are at the front of the ship, white lifts are in the middle, and red lifts are at the back. And if you press the star button, it will take you to the deck with the gangway, where you disembark for the day in port. Another thing that helped us massively was noticing the artwork in the corridors where the cabins are. If you're walking towards pictures of a rising sun, then you're heading towards the front of the ship, and if you're facing pictures of a sunset, then you're heading towards the back. Cabin numbers can also help you get your bearings. Cabins on the port side have even numbers, and cabins on the starboard side have odd numbers. One tip I did straight away is take a photo of our cabin number. It's not printed on your cruise card, and for the first day or two it's surprisingly easy to forget where you're staying. Lots of people also put magnets on their cabin door to make it easier to spot. The ship maps on the walls became our best friends during the first couple of days. We used them all the time while learning our way around and trying to locate a restaurant, bar or shop. You'll also be given a paper deck plan at check-in, which is definitely worth keeping hold of. Before I carry on, if you're enjoying these Arvia tips, I'd love it if you subscribe. I've got lots more Arvia videos and Norwegian Fjords content coming up, especially if you're cruising with older kids and teens. Now, let's talk about a few useful things on board that many people don't realise are available. Every passenger gets 1 hour of free Wi-Fi during the cruise. Just bear in mind it has to be used in one go, so don't activate it until you actually need it. There is a phone in your cabin, and there are also phones located around the ship which you can use to call or message your cabin. This is really handy if you're trying to meet up with other family members or friends, and this is what you'd be looking for. On your cabin TV, you can watch movies, you can also check your onboard account, but what we found really useful was that there's a map showing exactly where the ship is, the weather conditions and even the speed you're travelling. For the pool, our pool towels are provided. We were given 2 towels in our cabin, but we also picked up extras from the towel station, which is on deck 16. When you're finished with pool towels, just pop them in the towel bins around the ship. For water, we found the refill stations around the ship much better than using the taps in our cabin bathroom. There are stations in the atrium on decks 6, 7 and 8 on port side, and in the Sky Dome on deck 16. The water was chilled and tasted much nicer to us. You can also buy water in aluminium bottles, and there is also water available in the Sky Dome. You can just help yourself and fill up the blue glasses. We always bring little squash bottles on cruises to add some flavour to our water, and this worked really well on Arvia. And if you're travelling with kids and teenagers, then you'll probably be interested to know that the milkshakes in Sixth Street Diner were a big hit with our family. There is a separate menu tucked in where the sauces are. You can get strawberry, chocolate and vanilla, and they were £4.50 each. And if you like a cuppa in the morning, Arvia has a kettle and tea bags and even biscuits. We found this replenished every day if we'd eaten them, and you can top yourself up with tea bags from the Horizon buffet. And in the cabin, there's also a washing line hidden in the shower which pulls across, and it's just perfect for drying swimming costumes. And if you're planning a longer cruise, pack some washing sheets and tumble dryer sheets. The laundrettes are free to use. They're open from 8 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. They've also got irons and ironing boards in there as well. And there are instructions displayed on the wall. We put the washing load on, I think it's for half an hour, and then we came back and then we moved it into the dryer. This is on deck 11. As you can see, there are quite a few washing machines and dryers in this laundrette. If you're cruising to the Norwegian Fjords, especially in spring, here's one tip I'd recommend. Ask for a cabin blanket early on in your cruise. Post-it notes are perfect for this. We requested one for our sail into Olden, and they can run out. We were lucky to get one. It wasn't the softest blanket in the world, but it was nice and big, and it definitely helped when sitting outside on the chilly morning, especially for Olden when we got up at 5 in the morning. One thing I did like on Arvia was the public toilet doors. These are automatic, so you don't actually need to touch the handle. You just wave your hand and the door magically opens. One of our favourite activities was the silent disco. During our 7-night cruise, it was held twice up in the Sky Dome, and it was a fantastic atmosphere. I really do recommend getting there early because there is only a limited supply of headphones and they do run out. We did have to wait a while for all 4 of us to get a set of headphones. There are 2 tracks that you can choose between, and it is great fun. Looking for the cinema, it's on deck 6. Showtimes are listed in the Horizon newsletter, which is delivered to your door each evening. I'd recommend arriving at least 15 minutes early, dependent on how popular you think the film will be, so you can find a good seat before the lights go down. You can check out the seating plan outside the cinema to see what seats are available, which is really handy. And if you're a popcorn person, bring your own because there isn't any available to buy. Entertainment is another area where little planning helps. The theatre shows and headliners can be booked before your cruise, usually around 2 weeks before sailing. Popular performances often fill up quickly, but people do cancel, so it's always worth checking. We found the 8:30 show the busiest, and we found the 10:30 show the quietest. There is also a 6:30 show too if you'd rather see a show first before eating. It's also worth checking because shows can also get added once on board. If you've booked a show, then make sure you arrive at least 5 minutes before it starts, because after that, reserved seating is released. A little theatre tip: enter on deck 6 if you want to be closer to the stage. This does take a little longer to get to, or deck 7 if you prefer to enter at the top. Now let's move on to food and dining. If virtual dining is showing as fully booked, then don't give up. We found Olive Grove was fully booked within minutes of dining opening up, but when we went to the restaurant in person, they gave us a buzzer. We still had about an hour's wait, but we spent it enjoying a drink in the atrium rather than missing out completely on the restaurant. Another tip is to check the Horizon newsletter every evening. Not only does it tell you what's happening the following day, but it also includes if there's a cocktail of the day. During our cruise, these were around £6.60, and we found them available in the Sky Bar in the Sky Dome. There were often other drink offers advertised too, such as this one. Also on celebration night, we were given drink vouchers for a Prosecco or elderflower cordial. These were in our folder outside the room, so make sure you don't miss them. Before I finish, here are a few hidden gems and quieter spots on board. Anderson's Bar has free copies of the Britain Today newspaper, along with crossword puzzles and Sudoku. These are available daily. And then outside Anderson's, there is a surprisingly well-stocked library area with books and games and puzzles. As you can see, there are several cabinets which are filled with books. You can also leave your own books behind when you finish reading them. For one of the best photo opportunities on board, head to the giant deck chair near Laguna Bar on deck 16. Around dinner time, we found it much quieter and easier to get photos without people trying to get in the chair as well. And in the Horizon buffet, if one side of the buffet is closed or it is really busy, especially at breakfast time, then keep walking, because there are actually 2 buffet stations and many people don't realise there's another one further along. We were one of those people and it took us a couple of days to realise it's actually much bigger than we thought it was. Afternoon tea is also served here between 3 and 5 o'clock. We love popping up for scones and cake after a day ashore. You can also take food back to your cabin if you wanted to eat there instead. Also, if you're vegan or gluten free, then check the dietary counter. Staff can provide additional options that aren't always out on display. You just need to ask. And if you'd like to see everything available in the Horizon buffet throughout the day, including breakfast, lunch, afternoon tea, dinner and late night snacks, then I have got a full Horizon buffet video which is up on my channel now. If you are feeling chilly in the evening, you can ask for hot chocolate during late night snacks at the Horizon buffet. You do have to ask for it, so it is easy to miss. If you fancy a walk around outside, then don't miss the full promenade walk on deck 8. This is where you can walk all the way around the ship. It is a lovely way to explore the ship, and you'll also find some hot tubs on this deck too. And if you like shopping and you've been lucky enough to get some onboard credit, then they do have discount days on board in the shops. Do check out your Horizon newsletter, because that will let you know the daily deals of the day. If you're looking for adult only areas, the Limelight Club is generally 18+, although that can sometimes be reduced during school holiday sailings. You do have to pay for this. We got to see Chesney Hawks and it was £35 per person. For this it was 13+, though we didn't see many children in there. Our teens were happy going to the cinema instead. If you're looking for more adult only areas, then there's also the Beachcomber area. This is included. And then there's also a swim up bar, which is by the infinity pools. And then in the evenings, you've got the Crow's Nest, which becomes adults only after 6 o'clock. And you've also got the 7:10 Club, which is adults only, and you need to book once you're on board. So those are my top Arvia tips after our Norwegian Fjords cruise. Let me know in the comments which tip you found most useful, or if you've already sailed on Arvia, then please share your own tips below to help other cruisers. And if you're planning an Arvia cruise, make sure you check out my embarkation day guide next, so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive in Southampton. And after that, head over to my full Arvia ship tour, where I'll show you around all the main areas we've talked about in this video.